Hello everyone, this is the Masked Analyst. Tonight I'd like to talk about the greatest threat to Western civilization that we face. No, I'm not talking about Encyclopedia Dramatica. I'm talking about something far more threatening and dangerous. I'm talking about Islamofascism. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all Muslims are fascists. Not at all. And I'm not saying that their religion is inherently fascist, that one cannot worship their religion and not be a fascist. I'm not saying that at all. There are many good, decent Muslims who wish nothing more than to be allowed to live in peace. And I respect these people, and I respect the way that they follow their religion. However, there's also a very significant, even if it's a minority portion of the Muslim community, but it's a significant portion of the Muslim community whose way of life is at such odds with the Western way that they cannot really coexist. I'm not talking just about those who would strap bombs to themselves and blow themselves up to further their agenda. I'm not talking about those who are the Osama bin Laden wannabes who want to fly planes into buildings and that sort of thing. Yes, they're a part of the problem. They're not the entire problem. People in the West are very much afraid of creeping Sharia laws, that they may bring restrictions upon Western civilizations that are incompatible with our society and our values. And we've gotten a small taste of that today, in fact. Nick Gisburne is a prominent atheist on YouTube. Now, if you know anything about Nick, he's the most mild-mannered, even-tempered person around. He's not inflammatory at all. But last night maybe or so, I'm not really sure when he put it up, but he recently put up a video of nothing but quotes from the Qur'an. No commentary on the quotes, nothing, just excerpts from the Qur'an. And these quotes were such that they made the Islamic religion look bad. They made it look very aggressive. Now, some Muslims may argue that what Nick did was wrong because he took them out of context, and that in order to really understand the what appears to be a very aggressive nature, that God wants to see all infidels killed, that he wants to see all non-believers put to death. In order to understand those passages, one must understand the context in which they were made and the historical references. And without them, it totally twists the meaning of the Quran. So they may argue it, and they may be correct. I'm not an Islamic scholar, so I really can't say with any degree of confidence as to whether it twists the Quran or whether it's really keeping with the Quran's meaning. So I'm not going to comment on that. What I will comment on, though, is the reaction by the Muslim community, or at least some members of the Muslim community, and YouTube. Well, some Muslims, I have no idea how many, and I'm not sure if they are doing this in a group or not, have flagged Nick's video. And YouTube, did they remove his video? No, that wasn't quite their reaction. Actually, they didn't just remove his video that was in question. They removed all his videos. I guess there were some 60 videos up, and they shut down his account. What they did, even if Nick's video was censorship worthy, they really went overboard in shutting down his account. It's like killing a mosquito with a nuclear weapon. Now, if any Muslims are watching this, what's happened here is it makes your God look bad. It makes Allah look weak. If the only way that you can defend him is to censor those who say things about him that you don't like or that he may not like, it makes it look like your ideology can't survive if it's competing on a level playing field of ideas with those who differ from you. It makes you look like the only way that you can win hearts and minds is to shut the opposition down, to put him under your thumb, to silence him. Of course it's easy to win an intellectual argument if you shut your opponent up and you gag and bind him and throw him in the dungeon so no one can hear him again. And this is what it looks like you're doing. And so a lot of people in the Western world not only fear the bombs coming from radical Islam, they also fear the restrictions and the restriction on the freedom of speech. Now, if there's any people from outside of the U.S. or even within the U.S. who are doing this, who are sympathetic to the cause of shutting down their opposition of censorship, I ask you to think twice, because it really does make your cause look bad, and it's the type of thing that makes Westerners fear Islam. Now, I'm going to post a few links, and I'm going to hope that other people will do this. I want you to watch Nick's video in which he describes what happens to him, and then I'm going to post a link to the video. It's been re-uploaded by a number of people, and I will upload the questionable video on my account as well. Look at the video itself. Very possibly my account is going to be deleted because I'm doing this, but I think we all need to take a stand in solidarity with Nick. Because once one person loses his freedom of speech, then we are all vulnerable to the censors. I'm also going to post a link to a group that you can join, which is to fight censorship, and I will also post another link to a discussion on a Muslim board in which they were talking about censoring videos. This was a while back, and I guess the video in question that they were talking about censoring at that point was a video by Captain Awesome. And I can understand why they might want to censor it, because he is, although I think he's very funny, he's also very crude, rude, and obnoxious. And so I can understand. I don't agree with censorship of him, but I can understand. I can put myself in their shoes, and I can understand why they'd want to censor it. Now, if you read through the comment thread by the Muslims, you'll see there's going to be some differences of opinion, and they're not all of one mind. You'll also see that they have decided to take any such discussion to email so that outsiders can't see what's going on in their community. I hope you will join me in writing to YouTube, and I'll put a link in the sidebar as well for that, to ask them to reinstate Nick's account. An attack on one of us is an attack on us all, and this censorship must not stand. This has been the Masked Analyst, under and in.